Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Okay, guys, I just want to point something out with this daily double we got running our team of Barry and Stefanski. They've been there 6 years, and our two-time coach of the year, his record is 42-55. Take away the 2 years I don't know how he did it, won 11 games, and he's 20-55. Where are you going with that, guys? I don't know a team in the league or an owner in the league is going to keep that and think that's going to carry us through if he cared about the fan base. But obviously they don't. So let's just keep trotting out this garbage and let the fans suffer week after week.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Jared, just to play devil's advocate, if you take away the 3-14 and the 2-7 season, he's 37-34. So you can play with numbers like that. I get it. 5 wins and 21 losses isn't great. I know you've written an article. Hot seats for Andrew Barry and Kevin Stefanski, arguments for either, neither, or both.
Yeah, in the end, for this conversation, which is happening everywhere, if it's only about outcomes, they should have been fired last year. All right, so the only two questions that really matter first are, has he lost the locker room? Whether it's Stefanski or even Barry, players care about how a GM is doing his job as well. So have they lost the locker room? Is that something where it's very clear players, whether it's the Myles Garretts, even some of the young players, even Jim Schwartz would probably be a good person to kind of bounce things off of. Have they lost the locker room? The second thing is, what were expectations going into the season? What did they decide? Yes, were they all hoping for lightning in a bottle with Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett and everything could kind of work out magically and win a lot of games? Absolutely. But I don't know what anyone saw about this offseason that said this team thought they would compete this year or even be very good. And so that's where record is such almost a silly argument to me with this year, because the reality is if the record was the issue, they should have been fired this offseason. Now it's about, what were those expectations? Are they all on the same page? And it seems like, given all the moves they made, the trade down, free agent moves, some of the other things that they've done, that they all kind of planned for losing this year. They didn't want to lose, but they were all kind of on that same kind of trajectory. There's a reason Joe Flacco didn't come back after leading the team to the playoffs, right? They didn't have high hopes or high beliefs in him. So for me, I've ended up at this. It's either both or it's neither. And it really just depends on those two questions. And really only Jimmy Haslam and some of the key players on the team can answer both of those questions.
Yeah, and I would think that's fair. And if you decide, again, I get people wanting to move on from him. Mm-hmm. I'm really concerned with what you got to tell me what I'm getting, because we've had some really bad combinations. Ray Farmer, Hugh Jackson. Do you really want to, Sashi Brown for that matter? Is there a name out there that, and I think by DePodesta leaving, whether he was going to be escorted at the end of it or on his own to go back to baseball in the Rockies, is there a name of a guy, and the name that I keep coming back to would be Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh when he was at there. Is there a guy like that can come in and would want control? And don't tell me Bill Belichick or Nick Saban. Saban's in his 70s, so.
Yeah, I mean, the blunt reality is, and Hugh Jackson's a great example, most of the time that's who we think is a great hire. No one has an idea who will be a good coach. We don't. They could be good coaches in other areas, in other situations, in other systems. Do they have a quarterback, right? That's number one. Do they have a quarterback? Then do they have an offensive line? Do they have a defensive line? Do they have wide receivers? We kind of work from there. For me, honestly, the only two things that pop into my head are from the college ranks. Marcus Freeman, Ryan Day. I know there was some interest in Ryan Day at the professional level last year before they won the national title, and he had thoughts of entertaining that. Does that mean he will at this point? I have no idea, but he is a Chip Kelly guy. He has some experience there and some thoughts about the professional game, and I think he fits really well. Marcus Freeman is a program builder. He's not really a Notre Dame guy. He's an Ohio State guy at some level. So would he be interested? Those are the only two names that I would say, at least at a base level, I could say, besides the fact they're college coaches, Butch Davis and others, they at least make some sense to build a program. They're young enough. All that kind of goes along with that.
Yeah, it's not like last year where Vrabel made sense. And I know he was in the building. He wasn't going to take that job out of respect for both Barry and Stefanski, who let him in. So again, he just wasn't going to do that. That's not the way that works. Barry was trying to show him the front office side of things.